It does not matter your past relationships. It doesn't matter your family's relationships, your parents. You are so deserving of a love that will help you fulfill your purpose and that will make you feel like the best version of yourself. Because being in a relationship is meant to elevate you. It is never meant to hold you back. And I understand and I know that dating in 2025 can be kind of difficult. Like, I've seen the dating pool. I mean, I'm not in that game anymore, but I understand that it can be difficult. But the fact that you're watching this video right now tells me that you don't want to be like that. Your worth is not determined by if you have a partner or not. Your worth is determined by how you view your own personal worth, your self-image that you have of yourself. And if you are in a chapter of your life where you have been single for a while, you're recently single, or maybe you're in a relationship that you know is not serving you, this is the time where you can truly work on yourself and elevate and bring yourself to a place where you're going to start attracting the kind of people that you actually want in your life. And it doesn't even have to be just relationships. When you start operating from a higher frequency and you actually start operating from your authentic and highest self, you will notice that the people who start coming into your circle will look a whole lot different. And if you're new here, hi, my name is Izzy and welcome to my channel, Reality, where I truly and fundamentally believe that we have more power within our own minds than we could ever imagine. We are God's highest form of creation, and we are the only creatures who have the capability to change our thinking. And that is for a reason. You have the power to change your own reality through your connection with the divine, through the way of thinking, through the habits you take every single day. And I just want to have this platform, have this channel to share the things that I've learned in my life that have helped me obtain the kind of mental freedom that I believe everyone should have. So with that being said, let's get into today's video because I'm really excited to share this. I feel like I've really been guided to make a video on this because I know what it's like to be in a chapter of your life where you're really, really wanting to find your partner. And I know there's a lot of different woo-woo videos out there and there's like, oh, you could do this and that and this and that. But I just want to share practical steps that you can take on your personal end starting today to start attracting your perfect life partner. Let's get into it. When it comes to the point in your life where you are faced with singleness and you are not in a relationship right now, and you know that you really want to attract someone of a high caliber, take the time to turn your attention inwards and realize, what is the self-image I have of myself? How do I view my self-worth? Because if you view your worth as something that is going to be down here, you are going to attract men or women that will reflect that worth directly back to you. Love is the most beautiful gift. Authentic love is the most beautiful gift that you can give someone. But if you cannot give yourself that authentic love first, you will never be able to give it to anyone else. You have to take that time to heal whatever parts of you know you need to heal. Take the time to notice the repeating patterns. What are the repeating patterns of the partners that you are attracting in your life? Because if you keep attracting toxic men and you keep attracting toxic women or people who are undermining your worth, it is because you do not see yourself as someone who is worthy to have a partner that treats you with love and respect. Because if you view yourself as someone as this very high caliber, if you view yourself as someone who is super worthy, if someone comes in to start playing games with you, immediately right off the bat, you're going to be like, absolutely not, because I know my worth. And if you have gone through circumstances or experience that have brought your self-worth down, take the time to heal yourself. This can be done through meditation. This can be done through journaling. This can be done through freaking therapy. You could watch my videos to help you. I posted a video on self-worth because you are God's, again, highest form of creation. You get to mold and shape yourself into the person that you ultimately want to be. So if you have a vision of yourself that is not the best in your mind, change that vision to something that is better and something that actually serves you. Because also when it comes to attracting and finding the kind of partner that you truly deserve, if you are down here and you want a partner that's all the way up here, you guys are going to miss each other completely. But if you want a man or a woman who is all the way up here and you take the time every single day, step by step, to start slowly bringing yourself up more and more, guess what? You guys are going to meet right there. But it is so important to identify, how do I see myself and how can I make myself better? And I will say though, when you are in a relationship, it will heal certain parts and certain aspects of you that you didn't know needed to be healed. But take the steps that you can on your end in this period of being single. A relationship does not make you worthy. You make yourself worthy. You make the conscious decision if you want to view yourself as someone who is worthy to receive the best and most loving partner ever. Before you commit to someone, you need to decide where you are heading in life. And I'm not saying that you need to write out this super long thing. So when you go on a first date with someone, be like, this is what I want my life to look like. And if you don't align with it, that's fine. Goodbye. Well, I mean, not to that intent, not to that extent. But if you had to start talking to someone, you already know right off the bat that your guys' future isn't going to align. Don't even waste your time. Don't emotionally invest yourself in someone who is not going to help you walk in your purpose. If you're the kind of person who knows that you have very big ambitions and you have very big goals for your life, make sure that the partner that you are with, it doesn't have to be the same goals, but make sure that the partner you're with is also striving for things of a high caliber, of a high purpose, of a high mission. Because if you in your mind have something that is super far out and set for you, and your partner's like, oh yeah, I'm just good with kind of chilling, just playing video games all day, that relationship's not going to last very long, because you're going to get to the point where you feel so uncomfortable, you feel like you need to break loose. And back to my old relationship, that's how I felt. I knew that I had a purpose and I had a mission in this earth, even though I hadn't fully come to it and I strayed off the path for a long time. I knew that that's not where I was meant to be anymore. And I understand and I know that it's hard to break away from a relationship that you've been in for a long time. But this ties back into your worth. Understand and know that your perfect person, your perfect partner is out there. It does not matter how long you have been in this relationship. If you know that it is not serving you and it is mentally draining you and is emotionally holding you back and physically holding you back, you don't need to stay there. Don't let the person you're with delay your success or your happiness. That's the biggest one, because you deserve to be happy and no one should ever rob that away from you. I have a little activity for you guys. Write out. It doesn't have to be right now, but maybe after this video, grab a journal and write out what is the exact kind of partner that you want to have in your life. What does your husband look like and what does your wife look like? And I don't mean on a superficial level. Oh, they have super long hair, they have black hair, well, you could say the eye color. But when you get super specific on what the person looks like, you're creating restrictions on the kind of person that you could attract. I had no idea that my boyfriend or my partner would look like this. It was a complete surprise to me, because I heard this piece of advice that when you get super specific and super narrow, you limit the possibilities of people who can come into your life, because you're saying, I'm only going to accept this kind of person who looks like that to be my partner. I literally was like, you know what? I want my husband to be purposeful and intentional. I want my husband to be funny. I want to laugh all the time with him. I want him to be loyal. I want him to be driven. I want him to be smart. And lo and behold, the partner that I attracted, I didn't set an intention of what I wanted him to look like, but those specific things that I laid out, he matched. And I knew the longer that I knew him and the closer that we got, that he was my partner. And you know, when they say, you know, it is really true. I know we're not married yet, but when you know, seriously, I was telling my friends a month in that this is my husband. I remember they were like, you're crazy, because I was going through a super hard time in my life. And God seriously brought me the partner that I'm with right now. But I did take steps on my own during that time period where I wasn't with anyone to build myself and to bring myself to the kind of version that would even be able to attract a kind of man like that. Because the person that I was before, if we would have met, he would have been like, yeah, absolutely not. Because I was a partier, I was a drinker, I was doing all of the things that I should not be doing. I was completely lost in my life. I did not have God. And if a man like him were to come in my life in that time, he would have not been interested in me at all. And that reflects back to why it is so important to bring yourself to the kind of standard of the partner that you want to bring into your life. And back to the activity, the journaling activity of writing down the kind of person that you really want to attract and you really want God to bring into your life. At the bottom, say, I want this or better. I want this kind of man or woman or better. Because you may have a vision of the kind of partner that you want for your life, and God in the universe is like, no, you don't even understand. I have someone who is literally going to help you fulfill your purpose. And that's how I feel about my partner. I know that we were brought together to complete a big mission. I know that we were brought together to help each other walk in each other's purposes. And, enough on me, because I just get kind of excited talking about him, because I really am so grateful. And that's why I even talk about this stuff, because it is so possible. Because as someone who used to view themselves as someone who didn't deserve that kind of partner based off my past and based off my parents, you don't need to think that way, because your perfect person is out there. And this may be a hot take, but if you were only attracting men or women who want you for lustful intents? What does your social media look like? How do you portray yourself out in public? Are you in the partying scene a lot? Because those three things, those answers to those three questions right there could help you pinpoint why you may be attracting partners who want you for lustful intentions. Because if you are the kind of person who is very showy on Instagram or social media, and there's no judgment at all, by the way, if that's what you want to do, great. But if you keep attracting people in your life who only want you for sex or want you to just mess around with, what are you portraying to the public? What are you portraying every single second that you step outside? If you are dressing a certain way, if you are posting things a certain way, don't blame the other people, because that's the front that you are putting on. And I know and I understand what it's like to post that kind of content, to want people to look at you. And this comes back to a self-confidence and a self-worth thing, because I used to post very provocatively, and the kind of men that were hitting me up were not the kind of men that I would ever want to marry. If you notice that people only want you for these reasons, take a look at those three categories, because that will give you the answer. And if you want to attract someone who is a man of God or a woman of God, or you want to attract someone who is very successful, you have to present yourself as someone who is also that version. And I'm not saying that you have to have a lot of money to attract a partner that has a lot of money, but you can't be presenting yourself in a super trashy way, because you're going to attract trashy people to come into your life, plain and simple. The actual physical material wealth that someone has, if you're chasing someone just because they have a lot of money, if you're from Miami, you already know what I'm talking about. If you're chasing people for these reasons, you're going to keep heading dead ends, because you are attracting and wanting people on a very surface level. It goes so much deeper, and money will not always keep you happy. There's a lot of people in marriages who married very rich who are very unhappy, and I have met a lot firsthand. And I've seen what the marriage scene is like in Miami and this isn't everyone, but I've seen a lot of marriages in Miami for men who have a lot of money. They cheat on their wives all the time, and their wife is just kind of like, well, he gives me the life I want, but they're so unhappy. And it's very sad and it's very unfortunate. So if you're just chasing someone based off money, look deeper, because you could create a foundation that will create you generational wealth, that will make you wealthy with the right person. You don't need to be with someone just because they have money and you don't, or you need financial stability, because you can make that on your own. You can see yourself as someone who is successful, and you could take the steps every single day in your singleness to help bridge that gap from where you are right now and where you want to be. A God-centered relationship will always have a stronger foundation than one that is just based off surface level attraction or surface level emotions. I can say this from my own personal experience, that I have been brought so much closer to my partner because we work on our spirituality and we work on our connection together with God every single day. And I cannot even emphasize the importance of this. And if you are not with a partner right now, take the time to really help grow that aspect of you, because we are all spiritual creatures. It is of our essence to connect with a higher power, whatever higher power it is that you believe in. It is something that will absolutely change your life in every single area. Also, you guys, sorry for this little break, but I just wanted to announce that me and my boyfriend's clothing brand, Allume Projects, is officially closer to being launched. I'm super excited for the next product that's coming in. We are currently on product 2 out of 3. We have the acid wash hoodies as well as the acid wash oversized shirts. Every single shirt and every single product that is crafted by Brandon and by me is very intentional and very purposeful, because as a brand, we really just want to help illuminate society one garment at a time, because you never know who's going to read the back of your shirt and feel inspired or feel better if they're having a bad day, and even if you just want to wear the products as a reminder for yourself. So with that being said, you could support at Allume Projects on Instagram, and it would mean the world to me. So with that being said, let's get back into the video. Know that this energy force and the creator of everything wants to see you at your fullest potential and wants to see you at your happiest state. And when you take the time to work on this relationship and really cultivate a relationship with the divine, you're going to attract a partner who's going to help you grow in that aspect. If I didn't take the time to get close to God, I never would have been able to be with the man that I am now, because he is a man of God. We know that God has brought us together for a purpose. And if you do have the spiritual aspect of yourself, it's so important to have a partner that you can talk with these things about. If you are with someone, again, who is coming between you and your relationship with God, that is the biggest red flag right off the bat, that is not a person that you are meant to be with. I'm sure you guys have heard a million thousand times, what you focus on, you attract, but it seriously is so true. We have this part in our brain called the reticular activating system, and this is basically like the filter of our brain that allows us to see certain things based on the beliefs that we have. So if you have a belief that all men are trash, all women are trash, I'm never going to be able to find my partner, you will always find a reason to confirm this belief to be true. You will always see the things out in the world that will help you go back to the reason of, oh, well, yep, everyone's just a cheater. Everyone's just a bad person. If you change the way you look at the world changes. And this can go into any single aspect, not even just relationships. Whatever perspective or whatever belief you have on any category of your life and how the world should look is how the world will reflect this belief back to you. So instead of me saying all the time, I'm never going to be able to find someone who is loyal to me, I started saying to myself, I'm going to find the most loving, amazing, loyal partner ever. Instead of being like, oh, I had a super bad ex and I had a super rocky past, or my parents weren't together and I've never seen a relationship last super long. I said, I'm going to be the one who breaks this generational repeating cycle of divorce, and I'm going to find my lifelong partner, because I know what it's like to grow up in a family, in a home where your parents are divorced, and I know that I do not want that for my life. And I know sometimes that unforeseen circumstances happen and sometimes things are out of our control, but making that acknowledgement and making that my only path and my only vision, I know that I am in a relationship that is going to help me reach that end goal, because what you focus on, you become. What you focus on, you attract. And I made it clear that I was only going to attract this kind of partner who would reflect and confirm this belief to be true. And back to the belief of everyone in this generation sucks, you could have the best person right in front of your face and you're not even going to notice it, because in the back of your mind, you have this belief of, no one's good for me. No one's going to treat me the way I deserve, when the person could be right in front of you. Your perception controls everything. Change your perception, change your life. If you exist, your equal exists. So if you bring yourself to the highest caliber that you could possibly be, there is an equal out there who is going to reflect this truth to you, who is going to reflect the values that you have, the connection with God that you have, the purpose that you have. It doesn't have to be the same purpose, but the ambitions that you have in your life, it is going to be reflected to you. Your equal exists out there. And I know if you're rare, if you have super high intentions for your life and you have super high standard, that's amazing. Keep those high standards and only attract and let people into your life who are going to meet those standards. Don't ever think that you need to settle because there's 8 billion people on the earth. And don't think that you need to settle from someone who's from freaking Broward County or something and who's going to treat you like crap and like, I'm not even gonna get into it, but if you know the reference, you know. I'm from Boca, so yeah. Anyways. Love isn't something you chase, it's something that you align with. Do not be in a relationship with someone because you are desperate to be with someone. Trust God and trust the divine timing that everything will be sent your way when it is truly meant for you. If you have been single for a long time and you're very frustrated and you're like, I don't understand, what is this serving me? What is this teaching me? Trust the plan, trust in God, trust in the universe, and know that it wants the best and highest for you. And if you have been in a super long period of singleness, take that time and take the time of being alone to create and mold yourself into the person who is going to be able to match the kind of person that you actually want to be with. You are so deserving of a real, true, and genuine relationship, and never ever forget that. And truly come to this truth, not on a superficial level, but on a subconscious level, on a very deep rooted level, that you are deserving of the kind of partner that is going to help fulfill you and make you the happiest person ever. There are so many different steps that you can take to align yourself and to work on yourself with finding your life's partner. And don't think again that you need to be in a relationship to be happy or to be fulfilled or to step into your purpose, because you don't. You don't ever need another person. You need to love yourself more than you're ever going to love anyone else. And never forget that your worth is not connected to if you are in a relationship or not. It absolutely is not at all. Of course, having a relationship is great and it can help boost you even further, but become so stable and grounded in the fact that you aren't with anyone right now and you freaking love it. Be open to receiving love and an amazing relationship, but be happy that you're alone right now. Because you get to fully be focused on you 100,000%. You get to fully be focused on stepping into your purpose. You get to be fully focused on establishing and growing your connection with God and the divine. Like, You're in this season of your life for a reason. And back to, if you are in a relationship right now and you know that it's holding you back and it is not making you happy right now, know that this relationship and the relationship that you're in right now might have served you for the person who you used to be. But if you are upgrading and going to the next level, if that person can't walk with you, then don't make them walk with you. Stay on your own path and never let anyone deter you or bring you away from the person that you're truly, truly meant to be. I understand that I know that it's sometimes hard to find a partner that meets your caliber, but it's also hard sometimes to find friendships that meet your caliber. A super big perception shift that I've had to have in my life was that I used to believe it's hard to find friends, it's hard to make friends. And I switched this belief to, I'm a unicorn, so it's going to take me a little bit more time to find another unicorn. I view myself who is someone very rare and someone who is of a very high caliber, and I'm sure you do as well. I hope you do as well, because you should. So sometimes it's going to be harder and it's going to take longer to find other people who meet that level that I am wanting to be at. And with that being said, you can officially join the waitlist to join my Creality Club. I created this just because I had this issue. And I was like, you know what? Why don't I just make a place where everyone can come together to not only create genuine connections of like-minded people, but to also learn and grow together, because having a community where you can openly and authentically be yourself is the biggest game changer. So in the description, you can click on the link to sign up for the waitlist. All you have to do is enter your email and your phone number and your name. And I will also be sending over a free giveaway for anyone who does sign up, just as a thank you for even showing interest to join this community. And I will also be sending updates to your email or to your phone number on more to come with the community once it is fully up and launched. So with all that being said in today's video, never ever forget your freaking worth and know that you are so valuable of a man or a woman who's going to treat you amazingly. I thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day to listen to this. I really hope that my message spoke to you in some kind of way, or that it helped you in a certain aspect, because that's the whole point of my channel. I want to remind you guys all that you create your own reality. So with that being said, God bless you guys. I love you, and I will see you next Friday, or hopefully on Creality Club. Okay. Well, thank you. Bye.